Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe here to Fino Boxing. All right, enjoy the video.
It looks a really difficult task for you. What's your view?
They're difficult fights, like all my big fights. Billy Joe offers me something different, kind of similar to what I experienced with Martinez, but obviously he's a bit younger, a bit slicker. I'm a bit older, so it's going to be a difficult fight. You know, it's a fight to train for, so I'm ready for it. But I'm expecting a hard fight, but I'm confident. It's I think everything happens for a reason, and all the little setbacks I've had in the past have been building to this, and yeah, I'm ready for it, and I really do feel like it's my time.
I mean, you're 38, he's 31. Do you think that age difference is important?
Well, no, to be honest, I don't. I mean, I look after myself, in between fights. It's not like I go blowing up in weight. I do a lot of training, eat healthy. So even though I'm 38, I'm a young 38. I've not been in many hard fights. But having said that, neither is he. But he don't really look after himself in between fights. So it's not like I'm thinking that, well, I'm 38 and too old, I'm past it. I know I'm not. I know what I've got in me, I know what's left, and I know that there's a big fight and definitely a big win in me.
It's your sixth attempt at a world title. You've gone the distance with quite a few of them. In fact, all of them apart from the draw. So you've lost 4 and drawn 1.
Yeah.
So you stay the distance, but he's 29-0, and it's his 7th world title fight. So you can understand people thinking that Billy Joe's going to win this.
Listen, it's a win-win for me. I mean, everybody's written me off, so it doesn't matter. There's no pressure on me. It's one of them where everybody's written me off. But I know that I rise to the big occasions and the big fights. You see the best of me, and fair enough. I've fought for this is my 5th world title fight, and Ian Mikes defended it 7 times, but he's not fought the opposition I've had, and even so, if I'd have fought the people he'd have fought for world titles, I'd have been world champion, had many more defences. So it's I'm not looking into it like that, and like I keep saying, I know it's an hard fight, and I've trained for it, so I'm ready.
You're talking about Golovkin and Felix Sturm and those sort of people that you fought.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I've been in. I've done it the hard way and not got there. Sturm, Martinez, Abraham. Obviously, I think Golovkin was the only one where it won. It won in doubt. The other three are. So, I've been in with better opposition. I've done it the hard way, but not got there. I should have been world champion, but I'm not. He's done it the easy way and got there. But it's like I said, everything happens for a reason, and I'm ready. I'm ready.
You've had a long career, 38 fights. 39 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. Is this a make or break fight for you at your age now? Do you think, Martin? Is everything on the line here?
You know what? I've been in past, like people have said that for me for so long, and I used to say, yeah, I go, you know what it is, and then I obviously had that little blip against end of 2018 against Indam, and it wasn't, I had an off night, but I still thought I won the fight, especially at home, and I was thinking, you know what, I'm done, and then last year I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it for the love of it, because I still feel like I've got something to give. And, I had 2 fights. They weren't major fights. There was nothing I needed to bring out my A game for. I was levels above. And, I enjoyed him. And obviously this fight, this has been a shocking year for everyone, really. But this fight's come up. And, you know what, I'm at the stage now where I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and I'll do it. There's no point me saying, oh, well, if I get beat, I'll retire, because to be honest, I don't know what I'm gonna do. One breath I'll be like, oh well, one more fight and then it's done, win, lose or draw, and then in the next breath I'm thinking, I could be fighting like Bernard Hopkins selling 50. Do you know what I mean? I really don't know. I'm just taking it as it comes and just enjoying it.
You're the wrong weight for Mike Tyson. But let me just ask a few more questions here. What sort of fight can we expect with Styles here?
Well, I mean, Billy Joe, he's, like I've said, he's very slick. He's a southpaw, which always makes it awkward, but I've never really struggled with southpaws, to be honest with you. I've not fought many, but I've always done okay. Billy Joe likes everything his own way. So it's about me not being able to give it him, give it to him where everything's on his terms, and he finds a rhythm. I've got to take him out of his rhythm. I've got to be on him. I've got to be working him. I've got to take him out of his comfort zone. But I know what I need to do. But he'll be training for the exact same thing. So I know that he's ready. I know that he's fit, and I think I'm just going to have to play it by ear with a fight. Sometimes you can try all training camp of tactics. We tried it in this training camp, and we thought, right, we'll try it this way, and we thought it'd work, but we got in against southpaw sparring partners, and it didn't. And each one of them, I might get in there on Friday, and the things that I thought would work don't, and the things that I thought might not work. You know what I mean? It's just one of them. I'm experiencing intelligent enough now to go out there and just do the job and deal with whatever I need to deal with.
Do you think the lack of crowd's going to affect you? Do you thrive on crowds? Billy Joe says it doesn't make any difference to him.
Yeah, it don't make any difference to me. For many years now, going back at day, when we used to be at Oliver's gym and we used to have a serious spar, there was literally no one in the gym, and what went on in the gym stayed in the gym. So, I'm used to them type of environments, and to be honest with you, every time I've fought for a world title, the crowd's been against me. So, I'm fighting for a world title and there's no crowd for me or against me. It makes no odds. I've just got a job. I know what I need to do, and I'm focused on that.
Does the Joe Joyce win over Dubois fill you with a bit extra confidence? I mean, he was 3-1 outsider, amazingly. Yeah,
I was quite surprised at that. We was on about it in the gym the other day, and we was all having a chat about who we think's going to win. And I was quite surprised when they said he was, he wasn't the favourite, to be honest with you. So I wasn't surprised by the win, but no, to be honest with you, I don't look into anything as inspiration or motivation apart from what I need to do myself. I've got my own things inside me that motivate and inspire me. So obviously I'm not fazed by that, but well done to Joe Joyce anyway.
Final question from me. Billy Joe's been talking about training on sex. I don't want to be too personal, but are you in that category?
Training on what?
Sex, S-E-X.
Oh, sorry, I swear.
It's all right. I'll ask you that again. Billy Joe says he's been training with a lot of sex. I don't want to be too personal, but I mean, where do you stand in those stakes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He must need the training. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, to be honest, I've not really got a comment for that. To be honest.
Oh, good judge. Listen, good luck. It'd be interesting to see what happens, and I'm going to let somebody else ask questions. Thanks ever so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Nice talking to you. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, if we go to Luke Reddy from the BBC next, please.
Hi, Martin. How are you doing?
Hey, mate. You all right?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I'm in sunny St. Helens.
Hey, whereabouts?
Near the Linkway. It's raining. Anyway, we won't bore everyone with that. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about your age, but Billy Joe is now past 30, and I mean, looking at his record, he's only had 2 fights in virtually 2 years. Do you think people overlook like his potential the rustiness, or maybe losing the sharp edges that he might have had a few years ago?
No, to be honest with you, I can't really look into Billy Joe's age and think about like that when I'm years in front of him. Do you know what I mean? So I can't really look at him like that. But I know he's been inactive. He's not fought. I think I've fought more, been in more fights in the past 3 years. But yeah, I mean, whether the inactivity is going to play a part, I'm not really looking into that. I look at him, his career defining performance for me was when he fought Lemieux. He obviously trained hard for that. He knew he was in for an hard fight, and he trained well for it, and you got the best out of him. And I think that's what he's done for this. He's trained hard. He knows that he's going to have to bring his A game, because I'll be bringing mine. But I'm not Lemieux. Lemieux was a one-trick pony really, with just punch power. Can't really box, quite flat-footed, extreme power, but loading up and looking for it. And Billy Joe shining that fight. So, like I said, I'm not Lemieux. I'm more versatile. I've got more to my game. So, even though we trained hard and got ready and put in a performance like that for that fight, he's not going to do it in this fight. So, yeah, I mean, I'm expecting him at his best, though, and it's how I train for him.
We interviewed Joe Joyce earlier on, and he used a line where he said, he almost forget about all the other fights. I just want a world title. I just want a world title. And he was emphatic, and, you could see how much it meant to him. Yeah. Obviously, the close calls you've had, can you explain to us, if you had to stop tomorrow, would you forever wrestle with it? Does it
No.
No,
it doesn't. I've never been one to dwell on things, especially them. In hindsight, I was set up to fail. I think the only fair one really was I said fair. It was my toughest fight was Golovkin. I fought him in his prime in February 2015, and he was flying then. But you look at Martinez. I think it was the 20th anniversary of the Falklands War in Buenos Aires. I fought him there. Sturm, Abraham in Germany, both of them. It's what did you ask me now? I forgot. I was getting lost.
Will you forever wrestle? Sorry, you've had a tough round there. The way it's incredible when you look back.
I've never really dwelled on them. I've never really dwelled on the fights. They was what they was. But I've always believed I'll get there. So every failure. Don't get me wrong. It was hard. I think Abraham was a tough one for me, which was my last one in 2015. Because it took me a while from that. It was an hard one for me, that really, because I kind of thought, well, what, will I get another chance? And I thought I'd shaded it, but having said that, I left it too close to call in Germany. We'll look back now, and that's what I think of that fight. But I was obsessed. I had an unhealthy obsession with winning a world title, and no one's ever won a world title from St Helens. I obviously want to be world champion. I want to be world champion for myself. I want to be world champion for Oliver. I want to do it for my family and for St Helens. Like I said, they'd never been a world champion from St Helens. So, I was focused on that. And I look back now, I train a lot smarter now. And obviously, you've got to do with age. But I look back and I realise how much of an unhealthy obsession I had with winning a world title. So, going back to that, what you said with Joe Joyce, I can really relate to it. Really relate to it. But now, for me, I'm just a lot more relaxed about the whole situation. I've been there before. I've done it. But you know, like I said, I've always believed in myself. You know, no one's ever done it in four times. You know, I think it was Frank Bruno, George Groves in 4. No one's ever done it in 5. And I just really feel that, you know, picking myself up off the couch sometimes when I've just wanted, you know, gone in my car and I just wanted to get to the gym because I knew when I got to the gym I'd be all right. But I was struggling getting there. You know, I know that it's been for a reason, and on Friday I'm going to prove that. I really do feel like it's my time, and yeah, I can't wait for it.
Just one last one from me, if Dan doesn't mind. I was at the press conference. I think it was the first time you were meant to fight Billy Joe, and you came out with a really good, a really like kind of emotive answer where you said how after boxing you had no plan, you didn't know what you were going to do, and you really did sound like the sportsman who was contemplating all the things that come with change, you know, at the end of a career. I just wondered where you are now in that journey, because it's always interesting when a sportsman goes into almost real life, you know.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you know, it's always been the same. I've had an unhealthy obsession with winning the world title and training. I used to train religiously and still do, but my main focus has always been on my family, always my family. And you know, I've always known that after boxing, they're always going to be there. So you know, I live my life for my family. And regarding what I'm going to do when I retire, whenever that may be, again, I've not really put much thought into it, to be honest with you. You know, I'm not really stressing about you know, about trying to plan something. I'm just taking each day as it comes. I've got my family there, and you know, I've got, fair enough, I might not have everything I want, but I've got everything I need, and I think that's what's important. You know what I mean? Just knowing and appreciating, and just having gratitude for what I've got, which I have.
Thank you, Martin. Good luck on Friday.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. If we go to Andy from Boxing Social.
Hi, Martin. How you doing?
Hey, mate. You all right?
I'm all good. We did an interview. It's about 2 or 3 months into lockdown. We did it over Zoom, and you spoke about what you still wanted
Yeah.
to. You spoke about what you still wanted to achieve in the sport, and you said at the time you was looking at, you know, you'd like to fight for a European title and you'd like to fight in America once more. Given the circumstances, could you ever imagine that it would have ended up being another chance to fight Billy Joe after the 2 previous cancellations, behind closed doors, staying in the same hotel as him for a week, not being able to go outside? Would you ever imagine it would have actually felt like this?
Mate, you know what? It's mad. It's mad. I mean, starting this year, you know, I started 2020 training flat out because I was told they had a fight in America, like we said about the European title, and then all this happened. And you know, a couple of months ago, I remember just thinking, you know what, it's time now. You know, it's kind of ruined a lot of people's lives, this COVID, and I thought, you know, it's ruined my career, and I really just thought that, you know, I might end up calling it a day because of it, because I was looking, you know, when's boxing going to start? It's going to be 2021. I'll be a year or 2 older. Yeah, and I just thought my career, you know, it couldn't finish my career, but like I said in that earlier question, then you know, I've always believed in myself. There's always been hope there, you know, and it's one of them where you know, I thought that it was going to finish my career, and it's going to end up making it, and I truly believe that. I truly believe everything happens for a reason, and yeah, you know, it'd be nice to finish the year on a high, on a positive, and obviously my career, you know what I mean? I've worked so hard for a world title. You know, I've been in some lonely places at times, but like I've just said, I've always believed, and yeah, I'd never have thought it, but here we are.
How do you find kind of the circumstances of being in the same hotel as Billy Joe for the entire week? We know he's a character. I imagine he'll be trying to get up to 1 or 2 various things, you know, a funny person at that. How do you feel about it?
Mate, it makes no odds to me. He could be sharing a bunk bed with me. Doesn't matter, to be honest with you, mate. Don't look into too much like that. Yeah, we're just we're gonna weigh in Thursday and fight on Friday. I've got nothing against him before. I'll have nothing against him after. It's just one of them things, just business.
2 more questions from me, Martin. You mentioned you don't have anything against him, but is there any sense of frustration because of the fact that the fight had been slated twice before and been cancelled? Is there any frustration that you feel going into Friday night?
Obviously, there was at the time, but it's one of them. It's everything happens for a reason. I'm over it. I was pissed off at the time. I was frustrated, obviously, because I'd gone through 2 training camps, time away from my family, and to be let down, on the second time, it was hard, and obviously I was frustrated, but. As quick as it come, it went. I don't hold out against anybody. So going into Friday, there won't be really any frustrations around. I'm just happy. I'm just happy that we're here and it's finally happening. So I'm looking forward to it and I'm ready.
Final thing from me, Martin. I spoke to Jamie, who's about a month ago, and he said you'd actually sent him a message to send around to anybody who was going to ask to do an interview because you just wanted to focus on camp. You didn't want to speak to anyone. You just wanted to be staying in the zone.
Yeah.
Notice any difference in your own mentality going into Friday night with kind of that type of thing in mind, or is this just kind of how you've always looked at things?
No, it's not how I've always looked at things, to be honest with you. I mean, there's here's an example. Yeah, and for the reason why I did it and why I'm happy that I decided to do that. I was in the gym the other last week before, a couple of weeks ago anyway, and there was a well-known boxing reporter who was in the gym. And bear in mind, I'd seen him many times over the past year in the gym, but he had nothing to speak to me about because I didn't have a big fight. And he asked me would I do an interview, and I've just been knocking people back. And I went, yeah, I'll talk to you, mate. I said, but I don't want to talk about the fight. And he said, well, what are we going to talk about then? And I said, you can ask me anything. He went, well, I've got no to ask you. And you know what? It made me, I was so happy with the decision I made because that just hit the nail on the head. Do you know what I mean? Just listen, boxing's boxing, and I understand. I understand the score, but I was just at the stage where, for this camp, I've wanted focus on training, which I've always done anyway. But I'd spoke about the Billy Joe fight for years previously, but no one's been involved with me. Obviously, I spoke to you over lockdown, but no one's really been messaging me, asking me for interviews, and all of a sudden they do. And I just think, sometimes you just think, I've done it so many times where I've done it just to please people, and I just think I'm just going to please myself. So I've just been knocking them back, and that's the way it is.
No, that's fair enough, Martin. But does that mean if I had got in touch, you would have done something with me?
If what?
If I'd have got in touch, would you have done something with me?
Oh, no, because listen, I sent that message, Jamie, and I went, listen, Jay, just send that to anyone really. Just send it to anybody. So it was nothing personal, and it wasn't. But I just wanted to do it for myself as well as that little point I just said then. So yeah,
that's fair enough and completely
nothing personal, mate. It's a pleasure talking to you now.
Martin, listen, best of luck for Friday night, and I will speak to you soon.
All right, nice one, mate. Take it easy.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Ta-ra.
Thanks, Andy. If you go to Ron Lewis next, please.
Hi, Martin. You doing well? You're looking well.
All right, mate.
Like in the beard. After the Ndam fight, the Ndam fight kind of felt like, almost it'll be the end.
Yeah.
Was it close to being the end? And what was it that made you? What was it made you get? Because it was just for Christmas as well, so you must have gone away and had Christmas on the back of the defeat.
You know what, Ron? It was. It's like, because for that fight, that day, I'd booked to go on a cruise in Asia 18 months before, and it turned out that the day I was fighting Ndam was the day I was meant to be going on the cruise. So anyway, cut a long story short, it was 22nd of December. Cut a long story short, me missus or my family, they all went over to to Asia, flew to Hong Kong, and then I couldn't go. I had to fight. Obviously, I had an off night, fair enough, but I still thought I won the fight, especially at home. And then, you know, I got a flight the next day. I had to go to, I ended up in Hanoi, which was Vietnam. And, you know, I only seen my kids and my wife and my family on Christmas Day. And then, you know, I ended up getting a water infection on New Year's Eve. I was bad. I was in the hospital on the boat. And, you know, I just thought, you know what, I graft and I do everything. You know, I don't cut corners. I never have. You know, and you know, you say you only get out what you put in. And then I just, you know, I thought, you know what, it's not always true that. You know, sometimes you don't get out what you put in. And I just thought, you know what, I've had enough. I don't deserve, you know, things like this happening to me. And I come back, and then I've not seen Jamie since the fight. And, you know, it's Jamie come round ours, and we just sat down, we had a brew, we had a chat, and it was like, what are we going to do? And I just said, Jay, I don't know. So anyway, I started personal training, and by personal training, I got the love of it back. You know, I started, like, kept trying to teach people, kind of give me the love for boxing again. And so I went to the gym, and then I thought, we'll just take a fight at a time. And then a fight come up, and then another, and then, you know, I thought, me and Jay were talking, and Nigel was like, you know what, there's a big fight in me here, and we still, you know, we're still delivering in the gym. We thought, yeah, we can still do this. So obviously we've just been working, and this year's, like I said, it's been one of them years. But yeah, I'd never have thought that I was here, but I've always believed, and there I am.
I mean, you got a bad habit of booking holidays, which end up clashing with fights. That was your wedding as well, wasn't it?
That's what it is. Honestly, that's what my missus said to me. She went, you need to stop booking holidays, or when I've not got a fight, you like booking holidays, so then you'll get a fight. Yeah, just unlucky, mate. But everything happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Obviously, you planned for Billy Joe twice before. Was there always something in him you saw you could beat?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is, and like I've said, I know I'm in for an hard fight, but he's never fought anybody. I don't think, you know, he's never fought anybody like me. He's not fought the opposition who I've fought, and I've always felt I could beat him. Yeah, of course, but you know, in the same breath, it's an hard fight, and you know, I like challenges. I've always wanted to test myself against the best, and he's one of the best, and he's world champion. So it's you know, it's going to be an hard fight, but I'm ready for it, and I do feel I can win. I know I can win. I know I can.
Have you ever turned down a fight? Obviously, you went to Germany twice. You went to you were going to go to America. You took on in Monaco. You went to Argentina. You know, have you ever said no? I don't fancy that.
Never. But you know, I've never done that. But you know, this is why fighters out there, they need good trainers, they need good managers, because obviously they're the ones who turn this fight down or turn that fight down or whatever. But you know, you offered me anybody with the right money, I'd fight him. It's as simple as that.
Excellent. Take care, Mike. Speak to you soon.
Look after yourself, mate.
Okay, I think that's it for now. Thank you very much for your time, Martin. We'll let you go off. We'll see you in the bubble later this week.
Thanks, Dan. Take care.